So the first one that I found was that I thought was interesting. I'm just gonna pull this up here for myself so I have this, is mentoring and RAC certifications. Now this one is, let's open this up a little bit. Okay, mentoring and RAC certifications. Okay, so have you thought about attaining a RAC certification or starting a mentoring group at your institution? Or do you want to learn more about taking the exam? So this is something that's really near and dear to my heart, because one of the things that is really exciting about this year, and the theme in particular of this conference, is rediscovering your journey, right? And one of the challenges that we've talked about, I think, extensively at this point, is our vacancies, right? The vacancies, how do you get more people into this career? How do you get more people educated into this career? How do you, a long line of questions all related to the succession planning in some organizations and the infrastructure building in some organizations. How do you do that? And, 2 years ago, I think a lot of us were feeling really despairing. And I think many of us, even at this stage right now, are tired of just multiple years of this same shit, right? We've been dealing with the same shit for the last 3 years. It's a lot of pressure. For people who've been doing it for a long time, there is an enormous feeling of responsibility in terms of how do we, one, ensure the sustainability of our profession, how do we attract more people, and so on. So like, these were all challenges that I think we all were for a while kind of feeling isolated in our own spaces and dealing with on our own. But thanks to events like FRAPRA in Hawaii, to the annual meeting last year, the regional meetings, the conversations that happened between everyone who's a research administrator and in these spaces, led to multiple groups of people coming together to solve big problems that are a lot easier to solve when we are tackling the big problem together, rather than, I'm going to do it in my tiny institution, you're going to do it in your slightly larger institution, and you're going to do it in your giant institution, and you're going to do it in your tiny institution. And everybody's doing it sort of like on their own, and building these solutions independently, which is almost like in a vacuum, even though we're aware that other people are having the same problem. Because we don't have that 30,000 foot view of what's happening across the country, it can create contextual issues. One of the many, many ways in which we're creating this succession planning and building this next layer of knowledge and information is within organizations that create, exactly like what Denise and Ian are talking about in here, these mentoring programs and study groups that allow for either a increase in education knowledge about research administrators who are already doing the work, or how do we mentor and bring new research administrators into the fold. So if you are someone who is looking to rebuild or build or start some sort of mentoring slash group in your organization, this would be a really, really fantastic place to go, fantastic event to attend, to be able to sort of figure out how that might work for your organization. And what's really interesting is that, like, in some organizations, you're going to have these mentoring groups and RAC and certification. In other organizations, you're going to have pipeline programs that are internal, that was built for the organization, or like a certification program within the organization. You're going to have external pipeline programs like the one that Syra teaches for STAC. There are so many different ways to solve this problem. And I think that the more we expose ourselves to the various different solutions and resources and tools that are provided to us by our community already, the faster we'll be able to pick for ourselves, okay, these are like the 10 menu options that we have. This is the one that sits best for me, or what have you.